everybody, and welcome to the history of the Highland Railway. In this video, we're going to be covering some of the engine's history and the railway's history, seen right smack in the middle. And, well, it's not going to have the most amount of history, but you guys probably barely know that the Highland Railway exists. So this is a pretty rare occurrence. And besides, you don't have to read it. I'm going to tell it all to you. Okay, let's get into it. The Highland Railway, HR, was one of the smaller British railways before the Railways Act in 1921. Operating north of Perth Railway Station in Scotland and serving the farthest north of Britain, based in Inverness. The railway was formed by a merge in 1865, operating 249 miles of line. It continued to expand, reaching Wick and Thurso in the north of Isle of Lochshans in the west, eventually serving the counties of Clanthanas, Sutherland, Rose and Comery, Inverness, Perth, Nairn, Moray, and Banff. Southward, it connected the Caledonian Railway at Stanley Junction, north of Perth, and eastward of the Great Northern of Scotland Railway, both at Bow of Garton. England, Clenth, and Portist. During the First World War, the British Navy's at Scrabata base at Scraban Flow in the Orkney Islands was served Scrabanster Harbour near Thurso. The Highland Railway provided transport, including a daily Genco Express passenger special, which ran between London and Thurso in about 22 hours. In 1923, the company passed approximately 494 miles of line as it became the part of the London, Midland and Scottish Railway, the LMS. Although its shorter branches have closed, former Highland Railway lines remain open from Inverness to Wick and Thurso, the Isle of Lochshans, as a part of the Aberdeen-Inverness line, as well as the direct main line south to Perth. And that's the history of the Highland Railway itself. Now, let's get into the history of the engines. Okay, let's start the history of the Highland Railway Ben class. Despite the large and small tags, there were actually little difference between the two groups. The most circular being larger boiler. Okay, so this is talking about the U class, I think shown here, and the C class, commonly known as the Ben class. Despite the large and small Ben tags, there were actually little difference between the two groups. The most circular being the larger boilers with an increase in the tube heating service. Cylinders and wheel dimensions were identical. The class was originally designed by Peter Drummond, those elder and better known brother Dugald. He had been in the company department in early years, that time the chief mechanical engineer of the London and South Western Railway. In appearance, they were fairly typical Drummond family projects, with the stiffener across the cab roof. They were also inside cylinder, most uniquely among HR bogie locomotives. The first 8 locomotives were the small Ben type / the C class, built by Dubs and Company of Glasgow in the period 1898. And that's the history of the Ben classes. Okay, now we're on to the Jones Goods class. Okay, this is our last review of the day. So let's get into it. The Highland Railway, a Class A steam locomotive, NR 145, was designed by Peter Drummond, the railway's locomotive superintendent, between 1896 and 1912. 19 such locomotives were built for the Highland Railway of Dubs of Glasgow and later by the North British Locomotive Company from the 19,000 to 1917. Okay, that marks the end of the review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you another time.